I'm Shelley Klink. From boyhood to manhood, 25 teenagers trek toward maturity in the documentary Firebag. Next.
Since the dawn of time, men have ventured into the wilderness with boys to guide them on their journey into manhood. This is the story of one of those journeys. "19 boys from the St. John's School of Alberta begin their 890-kilometer canoe trip across 34 lakes, 7 rivers, and 39 portages. The journey will take 23 days. They will cross the Canadian provinces of Saskatchewan and Alberta and the Northwest Territories. It is a journey that experienced outdoorsmen would find challenging. These boys are between 14 and 16 years old. In addition to their regular curriculum, the St. John's School has been using these trips to develop their youth since 1961. The boys will go on more and more challenging trips over a 6-year period. This journey is the last and the toughest that they will face before leaving the school and entering the working world.
Little bay back there, the islands were, around the corner. And right here is the falls that we just went around. Okay. We'll see it on the blow up a little bit better. Here, the falls, and around.
After the preparations are complete, the journey begins. Their day starts at 6 a.m. and they paddle, portage, and pack until dusk. They will learn to rely not only on themselves, but also on each other.
I'm not a big person. I can't carry a lot of weight or packs or anything. But I do my best to, I do what I can. One thing that's good about a St. John's canoe trip is how well you get to know each other, like all your classmates, and how much you help each other.
But in order to rely on each other, they must first learn to respect themselves. Our ancestors were very aware that this is the way that you bring the man out of the boy.
Today in the canoe, the question came up about what makes these St. John's canoe trips special or what makes them interesting. I started St. John's when I was in grade 7. I was short, an overweight kid. These canoe trips, they're like a glue for people. There are people who, at the beginning of the year, in September, don't get along, don't talk, don't even really look at each other, not a common hi, not a, well, we'll see you later. But on this trip, this glue pulls everybody together. There's moments when you're so down low in the dumps, and maybe just that person that you never talk to comes up and offers his hand to you, and basically an inner voice says to you, I'll help you through this.
Taking boys into the wilderness is an age-old tradition. Cut off from the distractions of society, they must look inward to find the strength to overcome the physical challenges set before them. What the boys may have lost in the city, they are finding in the wilderness. They can apply what they're learning to any future challenge they will be confronted by.
All right, so we did really, really well. Good going. Hands in the air. Go!
The boys take turns cooking for each other, enhancing their cooperative spirit.
Okay, what I think I'll talk about is the way that I think that I've changed on this trip and the way that I think my goals have changed on this trip. It's not just my short-term goals, but my long-term goals and the way that I have an outlook on the world. As the trip went on, my goals changed very rapidly. Each day, kind of taking it one step at a time for your short-term goals, coming up to hard parts as somebody else mentioned, parts upon the Camsville portage. You would just set your goals as to get over that portage as quickly and as best you could. And your goal would be to set one foot in front of the other all the way up to the other side. But in your long-term goal, it would be to hit this portage, go over the next lake, and go over the next portage, and so on. And you keep on going. So I think in the middle of a canoe trip, you can kind of look on in realistic ways as each of the paddlers, including myself on this trip, is their own small little David, and the entire canoe trip, or you can say your life or any obstacle you have to come over, is the Goliath.
As the hours and days go by, they are toughening up their mind and body. Their muscles are becoming lean and strong. Their hands are calloused. The paddling, at first painful and tiresome, has now become an expression of their inner found strength. They will need this strength to overcome their next obstacle. "2,500 paces long, this is the toughest portage the boys will face. Growth and change requires bearing the weight and the responsibility of change every step of the way. You don't know what you're capable of until you're challenged to the very limit. Shoulders, legs, back, and neck ache. They are bitten repeatedly by the flies and mosquitoes. A break is still 3 hours away. But they must carry on because each is a part of the team, and they won't let the group down. They won't let themselves down. Many of these boys find they are much more capable than they thought. A sense of joy and achievement carries them to the freedom of the river.
Round the tree. Round the tree.